Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly transformative concept from Jeff Keller's phenomenal book, Attitude is Everything. Now, you might not know this, but Keller actually started out as a deeply unhappy lawyer. He was really struggling before he completely shifted his life to become a hugely successful motivational speaker. And the foundational secret to that massive life shift? Well, he realized that a positive mindset isn't just some inherent personality trait. It's not something you're either lucky enough to be born with or you just aren't. No, it is a daily, actionable choice.
Keller's defining mantra is beautifully simple, but honestly, it's so profound. He says, attitude is your window to the world. Think about that for a second. We don't actually experience reality directly, right? We experience it through a mental filter. Literally, every single event, every interaction, and every challenge you face has to pass through this window before your brain can even make sense of it.
Which brings us to a really critical question, and I want you to honestly ask yourself this right now. How clear is your mental window today? You see, we all start out with this pristine, crystal clear window, but, life happens, and as it does, dirt starts to accumulate. That dirt takes the form of criticism, rejection, and just those everyday disappointments. Over time, if we aren't paying attention, that grime builds up and completely obscures our view of everything.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, your window to the world.
So while we all inevitably face the dirt that life throws at us, it is entirely your responsibility to maintain your window. There's a stark contrast here. When you look out through a clean window, your brain is literally primed to see opportunities and solutions. But look through a dirty window and your focus instantly shifts to problems and limitations. It is the exact same world, right? The exact same set of circumstances, but the cleanliness of your filter completely dictates what you actually perceive.
Now, if you're sitting there wondering, okay, but how much power do we actually have over this filter? Well, look no further than Viktor Frankl. Frankl survived the absolute horrific extremes of the Holocaust. Yet even in those unimaginable darkest of circumstances, he maintained that the ultimate human freedom is the ability to choose your response to any given situation. He essentially proved that no matter the level of adversity, controlling your attitude is the one fundamental freedom that determines the quality of your own life.
Moving on to section 2, success begins in the mind.
Okay, now that we understand the whole window concept, we need to look at how it dictates your internal thoughts. Keller introduces us to what he calls the law of dominant thought. This is the principle that your dominant thoughts actively propel you in the direction of your goals. Basically, you become what you think about most. Keller compares us to a human magnet. You are literally attracting the opportunities and the circumstances that align with your deepest, most frequent beliefs. So, let's look at how this actually plays out in real life. Take this number, for example, $50,000. Keller points out that if you deeply, truly believe you are only capable of earning $50,000 a year, well, that is exactly what you're going to attract. Your own subconscious doubts will actively act as a block, completely stopping the flow of greater financial opportunities to you. If you want to change your real-world results, you've got to change those internal limits first. And to change those limits, we can use what Keller calls mental movies. The idea is that you have to clearly see a thing in your mind before you can actually do it in reality. World-class athletes do this all the time, right? They run these vivid, detailed inner pictures of flawless performances before a big game. But remember, you are the director here. If you don't consciously choose the movie you're playing, your brain is just going to default to replaying old negative reruns from your past.
Let's get into section 3, words create your reality.
So let's explore exactly how those internal mental movies manifest externally. It's this brilliant cascading logic pipeline. It starts with your thoughts, which naturally dictate your words. Those words then reinforce your beliefs. Your beliefs in turn drive your actions, and those actions inevitably dictate your results. It's like a domino effect. So a tangible real-world result can literally be traced all the way back up the chain to the specific words you habitually choose to use.
And here is the ultimate microshift you can make today, right now. Think about how you respond when someone casually asks, "Hey, how are you?" If you say lousy or terrible, you're actually reinforcing negativity and lowering your own emotional state. But if you choose to say terrific or fantastic, even if you kind of have to act as if for a moment, you actively heighten your positive emotions and project a winning attitude to the rest of the world. As they say, your day goes the way the corners of your mouth turn.
But hey, it's not just your own words you have to watch out for, it's the words of those around you too. Enter Smokey's sponge theory. This is such a catchy idea. It basically says that human beings are like sponges. We subconsciously soak up whatever the people around us are saying, which means if you hang around complainers all day, you're essentially absorbing dirty water. This is exactly why complaining is so counterproductive and why we have to be incredibly intentional about who we allow into our orbit.
You really have a stark choice to make when it comes to your social circles. Toxic people are negative, and they actively drain your energy. I mean, they are basically throwing mud right onto your mental window. Nourishing people, on the other hand, are positive, they're supportive, and they lift your spirits. You've got to strictly evaluate your friendships and, frankly, limit your involvement with toxic individuals if you truly want to succeed.
All right, bringing it home with Section 4, Action Drives True Success.
Because listen, as absolutely crucial as a clean mental window is, positive thinking alone just isn't enough. Heaven helps those who act. And to act effectively, you have to be willing to confront your comfort zone. As Keller says, do the thing you fear and the death of fear is certain. Growth requires being uncomfortable. And the really amazing reframe here is that you become an immediate winner just by stepping into the arena. Regardless of the actual outcome, simply taking action against your fear is a massive victory.
Of course, taking action is going to bring adversity. That's a given. But look at how highly successful people reframe their problems. They see the flip side of the difficulty. Adversity actually serves us. It grants us much-needed perspective, it teaches us gratitude, and ultimately, it builds our self-esteem. Problems really aren't roadblocks. They are simply opportunities in disguise, just waiting for you to find the hidden benefit.
And yeah, taking action will sometimes lead to failure. But here's the secret. Failure is absolutely inevitable. Keller notes that the most successful people in the world literally fail their way to success. They don't hide from risks. Instead, they treat failures as learning experiences that point out the necessary adjustments they need to make. The only time success is truly impossible is when you finally decide to quit. And as you're out there taking all this action, there is one ultimate multiplier you need to use: networking. Keller defines this as developing relationships for mutual benefit. Basically, if you want everything in life, just help enough other people get what they want. And guess what? Projecting that positive attitude we've been talking about this whole time, it makes people actively want to spend time with you, and they'll end up opening completely unexpected doors for you.
We've covered the mindset, the words, and the actions, so I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Every single day, the world is going to throw dirt your way. That is a 100% guarantee. The only question is, are you going to let that dirt settle and obscure your vision of the world? Or will you take control and start cleaning your window today? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer of Attitude is Everything, and I will catch you next time.